The Galactic Council Chamber was a marvel of the cosmos, its arched ceilings a luminous display of shifting galaxies and shimmering nebulae. Hundreds of representatives from across the stars occupied their places, their forms as varied as the worlds they represented. Towering insectoids, aquatic beings in floating orbs, crystalline entities refracting the chamber's light, all radiating an aura of indifference, their collective authority suffocating. Amid this daunting assembly stood Ambassador Zepra of the Xerian species, her delicate frame dwarfed by the imposing figures around her. Her smooth, silvery skin caught the light, and her eyes, wide and deep like twin pools of starlight, betrayed a desperation she struggled to suppress. Zepra activated a holographic display, and the chamber dimmed. The scene of her homeworld's destruction unfolded in vivid detail. A planet of breathtaking beauty, its azure oceans and emerald continents now reduced to ash and molten rock. This was Xerian Prime. Zepra's voice wavered but grew steady. Our home, destroyed by an unforeseen cosmic event. We, the survivors, are a scattered remnant, seeking refuge and a chance to rebuild. The hologram shifted, showcasing Xerian technology sleek ships powered by energy manipulation, environmental restoration devices, and advanced agricultural systems. In exchange for membership in the Galactic Union, we offer these technologies, the culmination of millennia of scientific advancement. We may not have the numbers, but we bring knowledge and innovation. A murmur rippled through the chamber, but it wasn't the reaction Zepra had hoped for. High Counselor Dreer, a towering figure with glowing blue veins beneath his translucent skin, leaned forward, his voice cold and calculated. Ambassador Zepra, the Galactic Union is not a sanctuary. It is a coalition built on mutual strength and security. Your people. He paused, allowing a smirk to play on his lips, while commendable in intellect, lacked the physical resilience and military power necessary to contribute to our collective defense. What value is innovation without strength to wield it? Zepra's lips parted to respond, but Counselor 6, a massive arachnid with an iridescent exoskeleton, interjected. And let us not ignore the risks. A species on the brink of extinction is a liability. Desperation leads to compromise. Compromise leads to weakness, and weakness invites danger. We cannot allow sentimentality to cloud our judgment. The murmurs grew louder, voices overlapping in a cacophony of rejection. Zepra clenched her hands at her sides, her gaze sweeping the chamber for any sign of support. She found none. High Counselors, she said, her voice steady despite the lump in her throat. We are not asking for charity. We are offering partnership. A chance to share our advancements, to contribute to the Union's prosperity. Your advancements, Dreer interrupted, are irrelevant if your species cannot survive the challenges of this galaxy. Membership denied. A sudden hush fell over the chamber as the holographic display flickered off, leaving Zepra in the spotlight. The decision was final. Dreer's words were a dismissal, but worse, they were a sentence, a denial of hope, of belonging, of survival. Shoulders heavy, Zepra bowed slightly and turned to leave. Each step away from the council felt like a weight added to her chest. Her people, waiting aboard their modest fleet, would hear of her failure. Their hope, so fragile, would shatter. As she reached the chamber's threshold, a soft, mechanical hum stopped her. Turning, she saw Counselor LX, an android representative whose metallic frame was a stark contrast to the organic beings around them. Their voice, soft and calculated, resonated in her earpiece. Ambassador Zepra, I may disagree with the Council's decision, but I cannot openly oppose it. I can, however, provide you with an alternative. A data chip materialized in LX's hand, which they extended discreetly. These coordinates lead to a lesser-known world on the fringes of the Union. It is called Earth. Its inhabitants are unconventional, but they may offer what the Council will not. Zepra hesitated, her pride warring with her desperation. Finally, she accepted the chip with a slight nod of gratitude. Thank you, Counselor. This act of kindness will not be forgotten. Kindness, LX said. their voice tinged with something akin to regret, is often mistaken for weakness in this chamber. But remember, survival favors those who adapt with that. LX turned away, their metallic footsteps fading into the hum of the council's proceedings. Back aboard her ship, Zephyra stood before the assembled members of her crew, their faces reflecting the same mix of hope and despair she felt. She inserted the data chip into the ship's navigation system. The holographic map expanded, revealing the coordinates to a distant blue-green planet. Earth, she said, the name foreign on her tongue yet carrying the weight of possibility. We have not been granted refuge by the Union, but perhaps we will find it here. A murmur of uncertainty swept through the room, but Zephyra raised her voice, infusing it with the conviction she wished she felt. We are Xerians. We have survived the destruction of our homeworld, the void of space, and the rejection of those who should have welcomed us. We will survive this too. Prepare the fleet. Set course for Earth. As the Xerian ships aligned and prepared to jump to hyperspace, Zephyra stared out at the stars, her heart a mix of hope and trepidation. Earth was an unknown, but it was a chance the Xerians could not afford to waste. The stars blurred as the fleet jumped into the unknown, carrying with them the last embers of a shattered civilization, hoping for a spark of salvation among the stars. The Xerian fleet emerged from hyperspace on the edge of a new solar system, the unassuming blue-green orb of Earth distant but growing larger with every passing second. Zephyra stood at the helm, her hands clasped behind her back, her gaze fixed on the image displayed on the bridge's main screen. Send the signal, she commanded. Let them know we come in peace. Far away, on a quiet mountainside observatory on Earth, Dr. Samantha Chen adjusted the settings on her telescope, her eyes scanning the data feeds with practiced precision. The evening sky above was clear, an endless canvas of stars twinkling with distant mysteries. Her routine observation took an unexpected turn when her computer emitted a sharp ping. Samantha frowned, leaning closer to examine the anomaly. The signal was faint but unmistakably artificial. She activated the deep space array, her heart pounding as she decoded the patterns. What emerged was not random noise but structured language, a plea woven into the fabric of the universe. Her fingers trembled as she recorded the transmission and ran it through the translation algorithms. A voice, soft and lilting, emerged from the static. We are the Xerians. Our home is lost, our people scattered. We seek refuge. We come in peace. The words sent a shiver down her spine. It was the kind of discovery she had dreamed of her entire life, but the reality was overwhelming. Samantha wasted no time contacting the global network of observatories, her voice steady despite the chaos in her thoughts. We have contact, she announced. They're asking for help. Within hours, the news spread like wildfire. Across the world, humanity reacted with a mix of awe, excitement, and fear. Governments convened emergency meetings, media channels ran continuous coverage, and social networks buzzed with speculation. For the first time in human history, the question of extraterrestrial life had an answer, and it came with a request that demanded a response. In the heart of the United States, President Isabel Martinez gathered her top advisors in the Situation Room. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with the weight of history. Samantha sat at the table, her data spread before her, while military generals, scientists, and diplomats debated heatedly. Vice President Reyes, a pragmatic and cautious man, leaned forward, his expression grim. Madam President, we cannot ignore the risks. This could be a trap. How do we know they're not lulling us into a false sense of security? Dr. Aisha Patel, a renowned astrophysicist and humanitarian, countered with fervor. They've given us no reason to doubt their intentions. Their signal is a plea, not a threat. Imagine the opportunity to extend our hand to another civilization, to stand as a beacon of hope. General Harding, a man of few words and many scars, interjected. We must prioritize Earth's security. If we offer them sanctuary, we expose ourselves. Our defenses are not prepared for interstellar conflict. Samantha found her voice amidst the clash of opinions. We cannot let fear define us. These beings have lost their home. They're desperate, but they've come to us with hope, not weapons. If we turn them away, what does that say about humanity? President Martinez listened intently, her sharp eyes moving from one speaker to the next. The weight of the decision pressed heavily on her shoulders. She leaned back, her fingers steepled in thought. "We stand at a crossroads," she began, her voice measured but firm. "This is more than a decision about security. It's about who we are as a species. If the roles were reversed, wouldn't we hope for compassion?" The room fell silent as the president continued. "Prepare a response. We will offer them sanctuary, but we do so with caution. Samantha, you will lead the communication team. Begin decoding their language and establish a framework for interaction. General Harding, coordinate with our allies to enhance planetary defenses. We will greet them with open arms, but we will be prepared." The decision was made. As the room emptied, Samantha lingered, the weight of her task settling over her. She had always looked to the stars with wonder, but now she faced the responsibility of translating that wonder into action. She returned to the observatory, poring over the Xerian transmission with renewed focus. Their language was complex, layered with nuances that hinted at a culture both advanced and deeply empathetic. With each decoded phrase, she felt a deeper connection to these beings who had reached across the void for help. The world braced itself for the Xerian arrival. Scientists collaborated across borders, pooling resources to prepare for the historic moment. Military forces mobilized, not for war but as a precaution. Artists and philosophers debated what it meant to share Earth with another species, while ordinary citizens watched the skies with a mix of hope and apprehension. As the Xerians approached, Samantha stood at the forefront of humanity's efforts. Her voice, carried through Earth's transmitters, reached the Xerian fleet. "This is Earth. We welcome you. Come in peace, and you will find friends among us." Zephyra heard the message, her heart swelling with relief and cautious optimism. "Prepare for descent," she instructed her crew. As the fleet adjusted its trajectory toward Earth, she gazed at the planet that had offered them hope. A new chapter was beginning, for both the Xerians and humanity. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, bound by a shared belief in the possibility of a brighter future. The Xerian fleet entered Earth's orbit, their shimmering ships an iridescent display against the black backdrop of space. Across the planet, billions gazed skyward, captivated by the otherworldly beauty of the vessels. News broadcasts filled the airwaves with live footage of the alien ships, their smooth, organic designs unlike anything humanity had ever seen. The world held its breath, caught between awe and trepidation. Aboard the Xerian flagship, Zephyra stood at the main viewport, her gaze fixed on the blue-green world below. "Open a channel," she said, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions within her. Moments later, her image appeared on Earth's central communication network. She spoke slowly, her words carefully translated through the system Samantha and her team had developed. "People of Earth, I am Zephyra, ambassador of the Xerian people. We come to you as seekers of refuge, displaced from our home and abandoned by the galactic community. In exchange for sanctuary, we offer our knowledge, our technology, and our pledge of peace." In a secure meeting room within the United Nations headquarters, Earth's leaders gathered to respond. President Martinez led the delegation, flanked by key advisors, including Samantha Chen. The air crackled with tension as Zephyra, accompanied by two Xerian delegates, stepped onto Earth's soil for the first time. Her silvery skin shimmered faintly under the artificial lights, and her calm demeanor masked the weight of her people's hopes. Zephyra extended a small device, projecting a holographic display of Xerian technology. "These are the gifts we offer," she said, her voice carrying both humility and pride. "Renewable energy sources, medical advancements, agricultural innovations. We wish to share these with you, not as payment, but as a token of partnership." President Martinez studied Zephyra carefully before speaking. "Ambassador, humanity is honored by your trust. We welcome you and your people as allies. Together, we will build a future rooted in collaboration and understanding. As the two leaders shook hands, the room erupted in applause. The first step toward interstellar unity had been taken. Yet, as the Xerians began integrating with Earth, shadows loomed on the horizon. Barely a week after their arrival, a massive vessel appeared at the edge of the solar system, dwarfing the Xerian fleet and bristling with weapons. It was unmistakably a Galactic Council warship. The vessel transmitted a message across all frequencies, its tone chillingly formal. High Counselor Dreer's voice resonated with icy authority. "This is the Galactic Council. Earth, you are harboring fugitives of the Union. Surrender them immediately, or face the consequences of defiance." In the Situation Room, the mood turned grave as the message played. General Harding broke the silence. "Madam President, we're dealing with a force far beyond our capabilities. The Council's technology outmatches anything we've encountered, even with the Xerian advancements." Samantha interjected. "We can't turn our backs on the Xerians. They trusted us, and we made a promise." Zepra, who had joined the meeting via hologram, spoke with quiet determination. "The Council will not relent. They see our survival as a threat to their authority, but together we can stand against them. We've developed energy manipulation technology that could enhance your defenses." The room erupted into a flurry of debate, but President Martinez raised a hand to silence them. Her voice was resolute. "We will not bow to tyranny. If the Council wants a fight, they'll find Earth united." Under Zephyr's guidance, Earth scientists and military engineers worked around the clock to adapt Xerian technology. Energy manipulation modules were integrated into Earth's defense systems, creating a planetary shield capable of withstanding orbital bombardment. The effort brought humanity and Xerians closer, their collaboration a testament to the strength of unity. The Council's warship began its assault, unleashing waves of energy blasts toward Earth. The shield flared brilliantly, holding firm against the onslaught. On the ground, human and Xerian teams monitored the situation, adjusting the shield's parameters in real time. The tension was palpable, each impact sending ripples through the protective barrier. As the attacks intensified, Zephyra and Samantha led a team to develop a countermeasure. Drawing from both Xerian and human ingenuity, they designed a hybrid defense system capable of redirecting the Council's energy weapons. The breakthrough came just as the shield began to weaken. On the battlefield above, the warship prepared for a final, devastating strike. The weapon's energy buildup was visible from the ground, a harbinger of annihilation. But before it could fire, the hybrid system activated. A surge of redirected energy erupted from Earth's surface, striking the warship with precision. The vessel trembled under the impact, its weapons disabled. The Council, faced with the unexpected resilience of Earth and the Xerians, retreated. Cheers erupted across the planet as humanity celebrated its first victory against an interstellar power. But the cost was clear. Earth and the Xerians were now united not just by partnership but by enmity with the Galactic Council. In the aftermath, Zephyra stood alongside Samantha and President Martinez, gazing at the night sky. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "The Council will return, stronger and more determined." President Martinez nodded. "And we'll be ready. Together." The alliance was forged in fire, a bond that would shape the destiny of both species in the face of an uncertain but hopeful future. The battle left the Earth trembling with both relief and anticipation. The Galactic Council's retreat was a temporary reprieve, not a guarantee of safety. In the days that followed, the alliance between humanity and the Xerians deepened. Their shared victory had forged an unbreakable bond, one that transcended their differences. Zephyra worked closely with President Martinez, Samantha Chen, and global leaders to fortify Earth's defenses and integrate Xerian technology into human society. The sleek designs of Xerian engineering began appearing across cities, from towering energy converters to sustainable agricultural hubs. The world was changing, not just technologically but culturally, as humanity adjusted to the presence of their extraterrestrial allies. Samantha, now a leading figure in interstellar diplomacy, spearheaded a bold initiative. She proposed an expedition to locate other species marginalized or oppressed by the Galactic Council. Zephyra, her voice steady with determination, supported the plan. We cannot stand alone against the Council's tyranny. If there are others like us, cast out and abandoned, we must find them. Together we can build a coalition strong enough to demand change. The expedition was a monumental undertaking. Using Xerian star maps and Earth's exploratory vessels enhanced with alien technology, Samantha and her team ventured into the uncharted regions of space. Their mission was perilous, but their resolve was unwavering. Over the course of months, they discovered remnants of civilizations clinging to survival, their stories hauntingly familiar. The Olexans, a race of crystalline beings whose world had been stripped of resources, joined the cause. The Vortari, aquatic nomads who had fled the Council's military aggression, offered their expertise in navigation. One by one, the forgotten voices of the galaxy found a home within the burgeoning coalition of free species. Back on Earth, the movement gained momentum. The coalition's existence became a beacon of hope, a defiant symbol against the Council's oppressive regime. The alliance wasn't without challenges. Cultural differences led to moments of misunderstanding, but the shared goal of liberation united them. Under Zephyra and Samantha's leadership, the coalition grew into a force capable of challenging the Galactic Council's authority. The moment of reckoning came when the coalition formally petitioned for an audience with the Galactic Council. It was a historic gamble, one that could either reshape the galaxy or provoke a devastating war. The Council reluctantly agreed, their decision influenced by the growing unrest among its member species. High Counselor Dreer, his icy demeanor unchanged, presided over the session, his contempt for the coalition thinly veiled. "You dare to challenge the order of this galaxy," he sneered. "Your so-called coalition is nothing more than a collection of misfits and failures." Zephyra stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "We challenge not the order, but the injustice perpetuated by this council. The galaxy thrives not because of exclusion, but because of diversity. We are not failures, we are survivors. And together, we are stronger than you realize." Samantha followed, her words carrying the weight of Earth's resolve. "The coalition represents what this council was meant to be, a union of species working together for the greater good. Your policies of exclusion and dominance have only sown division. It is time for change." The debate was fierce, the atmosphere charged with tension. High Counselor Dreer dismissed their arguments with cold efficiency, warning of chaos should the council concede. But not all voices in the chamber were aligned with Dreer's vision. Counselor LX, their metallic form gleaming under the chamber's lights, rose to speak. "The coalition has shown us that there is strength in unity, even among the so-called outcasts. Their resilience is a testament to the potential we have ignored for too long. I propose a vote to determine whether this council will continue on its current path or embrace a new era of inclusion." The chamber erupted in heated discussion, but the motion was eventually called to a vote. The results were agonizingly close. Every member of the coalition held their breath as the final tally was displayed. The council had voted by the slimmest of margins to recognize the coalition as a legitimate body within the galaxy's political framework. The announcement sent shockwaves through the chamber and beyond. For the first time in history, the Galactic Council acknowledged the voices of the marginalized, a step toward dismantling centuries of systemic prejudice. The coalition's delegation erupted in celebration, their triumph a hard-won victory. Yet, amid the jubilation, there was a shared understanding of the challenges ahead. Recognition was only the beginning. The road to true equality would be long and fraught with resistance. Samantha and Zephyra stood together on the steps of the coalition's new headquarters, a gleaming structure on Earth that symbolized their unity. "We've taken the first step," Zephyra said, her voice filled with quiet determination. "But the fight is far from over." Samantha nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "We'll face it together. The galaxy has changed, and there's no going back. The coalition of free species had not only secured its place among the stars, but had ignited a revolution that would echo across generations. Together they looked forward, not just as allies, but as pioneers of a new era, ready to shape a galaxy where no species would ever be forgotten again.